Hey there, this is Ryan on the campus of Huntington University, and you're listening to Rooted. Make sure you subscribe to us on SoundCloud and iTunes, and you can catch us every Thursday evening at 7 on 105.5 WQHU. And as always, you can stream on Forster Radio anytime, anywhere on ForsterRadio.com or through the TuneIn app. Today I'm sitting down with Brooke, Saylor. So Brooke, how did you really get started in basketball?
I actually started playing sports in junior high. My parents were really athletic, but I guess I never picked up that gene until junior high. I never played when I was younger, so once I got in junior high, all my friends were playing, so I decided to play.
What made you choose Huntington to really further not only your basketball career, but your academic career as well?
My track coach from high school, he was a track coach at Huntington at the time. So he was really pushing me to come to Huntington, and then that's how he got me in touch with Coach Kohler.
Now, you mentioned that track career. How does being a two-sport athlete, what kind of challenges does that bring along?
I feel the challenge is more in track because we start basketball at the beginning of the year, and we don't get done until March. So when I come to track, I'm really there for like that month, March, April. And so I think like some of the challenges for on the track side would be like getting to know like the team and like the new players, and even just like developing my skills further because I feel like I don't have enough time for that. But basketball, I mean like playing any sport in college, like it's hard to devote all that time to a sport and then still you have like jobs or like class, and so that's challenging at times.
Now, you came from a public high school. How were you able to make that connection between basketball and kind of your faith side?
Well, in high school, I wasn't big on the faith part of things, and so coming here was just like a huge difference for me. And I think like I can credit that a lot to my basketball coaches because they're really intentional with like having like that personal one-on-one relationship and like helping me grow in the ways that I want to grow.
Now, you've been phenomenal on the court for the Forsters during your time here. I mean, recently you've been a second-team all-conference player. Congratulations on that, first of all. But now with Miranda Palmer gone, what kind of challenges do you think you'll face, as well as the team kind of, not necessarily replacing her, but kind of filling the void that she's left?
Well, just to start with, we're a really young team as it is. We had a lot of like freshmen coming in that are getting playing time. And on top of that, a lot of people who haven't like gotten a lot of playing time in the past. So really, for over half the people that are playing now, that's like they don't have that experience. So I think in the beginning, it's going to be a lot about getting them that experience and like comfortable playing. But I mean, Miranda and Allison together scored probably half to three-fourths our points. So, but I think scoring is something that we won't have a problem with. But we've really been focused on defense because defense wins games, and in the past we haven't been like big on defense, and I can definitely already see the improvements with our scrimmages. And I mean, it's just hard to tell with all of it, just the style of basketball they play, but like in practice and stuff, like I'm really impressed with our defense. I think like that'll be something for us this year, is like focusing on our defense, because the points will come and we have a lot of people who can contribute. Like I don't expect any one person to like carry the team offensively. Like I think like we'll have that 5 or 6 that average between 8 and 12, and I think that's what we need.
Now, that defense you talked about, you are definitely the anchor of it. How does that kind of help your overall game kind of improve as you go throughout the season?
I mean, for me personally, I just think like just stopping like the inside post players, and I know like in the past a lot of the conference has been strong on the inside, so I think like for me like that'll help us as a team if I can lock down the inside and like get those rebounds and offensive rebounds like when I can. That's something I try to focus on, is rebounding, because I mean not everyone is like strong or can jump, so I mean I take that a lot on myself.
All right, and kind of going back to your faith, how have you kind of refined that and kind of improve it, if you'd say, here in college now, being with multiple sports and kind of just the Christian atmosphere that we have here?
Well, like I said earlier, my faith, like coming into college, was sort like non-existent in a way, and so I think like with basketball we do a lot of stuff as a team. Like we do devotions, and we do devotion for games and like on the way to games. We also do them weekly. We have like partners. We meet with different partners every week. So, like, we do a lot, like, with the basketball team, and I also meet with coach one-on-one a lot. And I just think, like, even in the classroom, like, professors, they usually try to, like, integrate your subject with faith in a way. And so I think, like, anywhere, like, you look on campus, there's a way. You just have to look, and it's there.
What kind of role models did you have growing up through sports or really just in life in general?
Since I didn't really play sports, I didn't really look up to anyone, like, any big athletes. I also didn't watch it. But one role model I had in high school was the second coach. So my sophomore year, we got a new coach, and I really looked up to him, and he definitely, like, helped shape me into, like, the person and the player I am today. So I'm really thankful to have been coached by him.
Were there any lessons that he kind of taught you or that you still have today with you?
Well, the one big thing he taught me is, like, not to dwell, and because for me in high school, I would make a mistake, like, on and off the court, and I would just dwell on it, and, like, that really affects, like, me as a player and as a person. So probably the biggest, like, lesson he taught me is, which I still struggle with today, is not dwelling on my mistakes.
All right, and to kind of get away from the dwelling in that, what are some of the happiest moments you've had in your basketball career?
Well, high school-wise, we set, like, some school records, like, for the most wins in the season, we went 20-2. And probably in college, my most memorable favorite memory would be when it was during the conference tournament last year. We beat IWU at IWU by 20, and that was just, like, an awesome game to be a part of. Like, the atmosphere was great, and, like, everyone was contributing, and, like, our bench was going crazy, and it was just, like, so fun to play in that game.
Yeah, that definitely was a big game. I remember being there last year, and like you said, that atmosphere was crazy. We know Coach Culler and Coach Green, both coaches for the women's program. They kind of have a lighter side, but us as fans and spectators, we never really see that. Can you share maybe just one funny story about either one of them or just one of them to kind of give us an insight to that?
Well, for Coach Kohler, not that I saw this, but she shares it. So she loves to just run into the locker room. Like, if we have a good win, she runs the locker room and, like, does something crazy. So she told us a story one time. She decided to do that, and she actually tripped and, like, hit her chin and had to get stitches just for celebrating after a game. So that's something I can picture in my mind.
Thank you, Brooke, for joining us on another episode of Rooted, and thank you for listening. Make sure you subscribe to us on Rooted, on iTunes, or SoundCloud. And remember, you can listen to Forster Radio on 105.5 WQHU over the air in Huntington or as you go to forsterradio.com.